Hello everyone. We are Phyta, an initiative growing seaweed for a sustainable future. My name is Eliza Harrison, and my co-founders are Emily Keon and Lucy Best. Our dying oceans are among the most pressing issues facing human society. 70% of the oxygen we breathe comes from marine plants, yet we've designed a global system that encourages plastic consumption, pollution, and climate change, all of which wreak havoc on the marine environment. To move away from these destructive practices, we created Phyta, a company devoted to sustainably cultivating seaweed in temperate coastal waters. In addition to its nutrient values, seaweed can be processed into a biodegradable plastic substitute, offset agricultural nutrient pollution, and support a broad array of other climate-moderating objectives. Phyta has developed a dual-pronged business strategy to address the opportunities to incorporate seaweed into various consumer products, as well as dramatically support the growing nutrient credit industry. To launch our potentially transformative business plan, Phyta will partner with existing oyster farmers along the coast of the southeastern U.S., who will be able to install the cultivation structures. These individuals will then harvest and process the seaweed into forms that are easily distributed across a wide variety of consumer channels. In addition to facilitating the sale of seaweed as a sustainable alternative to bioplastics or personal hygiene products, Phyta will market credits derived from carbon and nutrient removal. In contrast to existing cold water seaweed cultivation farms along the U.S., Phyta has chosen to pursue coastal cultivation of seaweed that is local to each surrounding marine ecosystem. To that end, Phyta has secured a utility patent for its rig design that allows for easier harvesting, provides a more durable structure, and minimizes biomass loss due to structural fluidity. The structure also recently withstood Hurricane Florence, which brought 80-mile-per-hour winds and between 8 and 10 feet in storm surge. Finally, Phyta is able to offer individuals in coastal communities an alternative and entirely supplemental source of income due to the fact that seaweed farming is a comparatively low time commitment. Notwithstanding the advantages of economic development and sustainable cultivation, Phyta has signed a letter of intent from a variety of organizations, such as DuPont, Tate & Lyle, who will work with us to facilitate the sale of seaweed. Similarly, partners such as Urban Offsets and Nutrient will offer critical guidance for our continued work in the credit marketplace. In terms of unit economics, 1 kilogram of seaweed costs $9 to produce. If Phyta sells that seaweed at a market competitive price of $13, we will generate a profit of $4 per kilogram. However, selling the nutrient and carbon credits has the potential to generate $47 per kilogram, and since each farm produces over 1,900 kilograms of seaweed, Phyta and our collaborating partners will make close to $100,000 annually. Elaborating further on the credit market, Phyta has the opportunity to present the first exclusively marine-based certified strategy for carbon pollution and removal. Existing initiatives associated with carbon capture, led by major organizations such as South Pole and 3 Degrees, are limited in scope to various on-land strategies, such as urban reforestation or wetland restoration. Phyta's role in supplying alternative credit sources could offer new and critical incentive to expanding seaweed cultivation on a national and commercial scale, especially as voluntary trading markets for carbon grow from an existing 11 states to 14 states in the near future. Strategies for marine-based carbon removal will provide an excellent additional and unique source to meet this growing demand. In that same vein, 11 states currently abide by regulation and guidelines associated with nutrient pollution, and 9 are expected to join the cohort in the years ahead. As a result of this demonstrated national interest in developing a credit trading system, Phyta will be able to capitalize on and lead this evolving market. In line with our financial projections, Phyta expects to break even in our 3rd year, and with over 10 million people impacted by Phyta's environmental, financial, social, and public health improvements, our transformative effects are guaranteed. With profits this large, we can also go even further with our social impact. Our partners in commercial industries will use developing technologies to isolate compounds in seaweed necessary for plastic production. We'll then work with them to sell the remaining nutrient-rich seaweed, which would have otherwise been waste, to cattle farmers. Seaweed contains proteins, vitamins, and omega fatty acids, which benefits not only the cows, but also humans who eat their dairy and beef products. We've also partnered with Deep Cafe, an AI startup that will allow us to use deep learning to improve the efficiency of our farms. Our plan is to use marine sensors to identify water conditions that optimize yields so that we can use this data as we expand. In addition to our social impact, Phyta has a number of environmental benefits. The seaweed on each farm requires no fresh water to grow. It also absorbs as much carbon as 2,400 trees due to the fact that seaweed is 5 times more effective at removing carbon than any land-based plant. Finally, feeding residual seaweed to cows makes them burp less, reducing their methane emissions by up to 99%. Of course, none of this works if cows don't like seaweed. Fortunately, that's not the case. And the only ones who like seaweed more than cows are us, which is why we are a great team to bring this venture forward. We have experience in the seaweed industry, but we also bring a diverse range of skill sets to this project. And while Phyta is an initiative led by 3 young women, we've received invaluable guidance from our advisors, whose expertise range from environmental engineering to business and finance. In the months ahead, Phyta is seeking investment to operationalize 5 farms off the North Carolina coast. And with financial support, our team will become a leading supplier of seaweed in the southeastern U.S., as well as offer the first purely marine-based nutrient and carbon credits. Ultimately, we are so excited to have an impact this large while still running a profitable business. Armed with patented technology and a passion for social good, Phyta will dramatically affect the global community and all of the species that call this planet home. So join us in growing Phyta and help change the world one seaweed farm at a time. Thank you.